Yeah, if I were Laura at that age, I'd be more scared of the big man with a giant sword I just summoned from touching a rock than the dude who stole it right over there. Did he go totally not lightspeed here? I thought he only gained that after becoming a flesh eater or whatever.
I'll keep you safe. Always.
No matter how many times I hear it, this line really hits home.
It seems like sending Alkos was the right choice.
It was still an ex machina though. This woman, and this little kid.
If those Ardanians get away with this, architect, damn it.
Discount goddammit.
May I present Nira, acting chairman of the Argentum Trade Guild.
Can I just see one cutscene where this guy's role isn't to eavesdrop?
Wiping out mankind is the easy part. We could manage that ourselves.
Then why haven't you done that already?
He will kill the architect.
There's basically no reason to say this unless you know there's a player audience behind you that needs more information about your plan.
To my ears, it sounds almost as if you mean to imply that the blame for these offences does not lie with your majesty at all.
Is she cranky or something? Just say, okay, fine, and be done with the salt.
I believe a cause has already been established. There are witnesses.
He honestly should have just opened with that.
That arsehole, the Aegis, has confronted us in person.
Actually, no, he didn't. Jin did and Akos came to pick him up. Malice was nowhere in sight. Couldn't she have just been brought here when the meeting started?
So the rumors that reached us were true.
Man, these rumors are really inconsistent. Nearly half of Araya already knew Pyra was around while we were there, and same with Morardain, but the leader of Araya didn't even get confirmation until now, and she doesn't even know Rex at all?
It seems to be a deep-seated drive. An instinct. As natural as breathing.
I'm sure Malthus is trembling a little bit right now, but lucky for him, our once flawless detective heroes are left shaking their heads over this.
So, Your Eminence, the rumor that you were once Malos's driver is...
Does nothing reach this woman at all? Leader of Araya? Are you kidding me right now? Several days long game has time for a fan funeral.
I mean, don't you think it's odd? Normally, if a blade or its driver dies, it'll just go back to being a core crystal. So why is Fan just dead?
Where was Nia during that whole wondering why Malice wants to kill everyone meeting? They could have used her.
But Fan wasn't a flesh eater. I can say that for sure.
Can you though? You've been gone for 500 years where she could have done God knows what with a Malthus as a driver.
It looks more like someone stole her core, doesn't it?
Again, would have been very nice for this to be brought up at that meeting. Also, this should have been the end of the who is the real villain part of the story right here. Bad guy doing bad guy things right in plain sight and nobody really bats an eye.
The Great Void is carved from the Cloud Sea by a monstrous beast known as Ophion.
Wait, you mean that thing?
No, the other thing.
So that thing is Mithras. Then what did it attack us for? Doesn't make sense.
That's what I've been saying since Uriah.
This means someone must have revived it.
So, Ophion got the parallax treatment then?
How did they manage a feat like that?
As I've said, mankind is regressing.
Okay, but that still doesn't explain how they created a freaking bottomless void.
I would ask you to reach Elysium before they do.
Even though I'll later do everything in my power to stop you by the time you actually get there.
Then why don't you seem to have any others? Blades, that is.
Driver though I may be, I am no fighter.
Bullshit.
Shared sovereignty over Gormott.
I don't think anything less will be sufficient to placate them.
You didn't even do anything. Just form a joint effort with them to help take down Torna. Jesus. Oh my god, even Podrick would be a breath of fresh air. Or that Roderick asshole.
Banner's going for the summit. On top of everything, an assassination attempt?
More filler to keep this story's runtime going.
We're past talking! Quick, grab him! Yeah!
By grab them, I guess you meant knock them unconscious. What?
You know, we can't let you do that!
No duh. This battle took me over 20 tries to beat.
Even Giga Rosa defeated by these nasty meddling kids.
Is Bana a discount Scooby-Doo villain?
Banner is not kind of man to go down.
Wait, why didn't he just do this right away behind his back or something? Niall does not need to run for Bana here if he knows what Aegeon is able to do. All he's got to do is stand there, have Aegeon use his force field ability, then let Bana push the button. Simple as that, nobody in the main party dies. Okay, even if Niall is actually this dumb, Aegeon could still have ran with him for a little bit so the force field follows with him. Wow, that explosion did jack shit to the rest of this hangar. Couldn't the developers at least try to draw some wounds on Niall here? If you really think Niall is dead here, then you don't know stories.
Your Majesty, I have failed you.
He was able to keep talking even after disintegrating? Also, no you didn't. Niall was just a freaking idiot. Pay no attention to Nia right over there or anything like that. This game is very inconsistent with its foreshadowing methods. Keep it subtle like the Ethernets from Chapter 2. Don't flat out give it to us a whole chapter ahead.
I apologize for making you worry.
He should apologize for being an idiot.
But his wounds...
Just scratches.
Exactly. I didn't even see any of those scratches after that explosion.
It is my wish that you travel with the Aegis as an emissary of the Empire.
Was she not doing that already?
A driver who cannot even protect himself is no driver at all.
Well, in this case, a driver who can't protect himself is an idiot.
The world is changing, Morag.
That's not a reason. And what does that even mean? Wait, hang on. So Morag and Niall went all the way back to Morardain just to have a talk about joining Rex. Why didn't they just stay in Indal? Also, didn't Morag say...
Just think about what happened yesterday. It would be sheer foolishness for me to leave your side.
How close is Morardain all of a sudden to Indal? It took at least a day to reach the Litherian archipelago, then cross the Cloudsea Ridge as a shortcut, and then at least another whole day to travel to Indal from there.
Can't help but feel that in all the confusion surrounding Banner, our concerns have been neatly swept aside.
Bitch, could you just stop worrying about Morardain for one cutscene? I love Araya and all, but their leader doesn't suck it up and help stop Malice like she should.
This is no time to be squabbling over territory.
Finally she gets it. Took long enough, though.
Say, chum, which one do you fancy? Pyra or Mithra?
Sweet. Another one of these scenes. I doubt they'll stop either.
They're the same person. I've never really thought of them separately.
Liar.
International relations, that what you call it?
Oi, can it you? What are you doing anyway? Dissing your own driver.
I was just about to say that.
Is it safe for you to go back to Tantal then?
Not once has he gone back at all? If Pandoria can control Tantal's Titan like this, then wouldn't it be better if she just had the Omega Fetter with her the whole time so we don't get a situation like at the end of this chapter?
We have received reports that he made contact with the Aegis in Indal.
How the hell did you guys learn about that? Do you have a team of spies working as Praetorium guards?
Aren't you gonna be cold like that, Shelled?
I'm used to it. I'll be dandy.
You haven't been to Tantal for years now, and that's the only region we visit that's cold at all. How can you be used to it? Nearly an hour of just cutscenes and we finally get to explore a new area. Also, Valak Mountain is better. And if you're going to tell me that Tantal is much more open and vast, then I'll just refute you by saying, wait until it gets cloudy in Tantal. Squids. Squids everywhere. Speaking of which, they removed the Avalanche Odyssey thinking that Ophion would suffice, and that I'm okay with that. And I am not okay with that. Also, what would happen if Zeke died? Nobody would have access to the Omega Fetter, and Pandoria would have forgotten everything, so would the Titan just go berserk? The Tantal King should make sure to heavily protect these guys when they meet him. Oh wait.
Whereas Judicium were the masters of biological arts.
One of their inventions being a high-tech Titan weapon of ultimate death. Very biological.
Nice quote. You should write that down.
How is he going to do that?
We have been expecting you, Your Highness.
This should have immediately put everyone on alert. No, I can't unsee it. Morag with no hat. What?
The world must not be allowed to burn!
Has this asshole never heard of Malos? Since Rex dies, if Pyra dies, and we all know that Rex is going to survive whatever bullshit this game throws at him, all the suspense this scene is bringing is immediately lost. Do you start to see the pattern?
I'm quite aware, and prepared to face the consequences.
Liar. Why is this sword bouncing off like that? It's still a physical object without ether energy, right?
Hey, you lot! Can you try to help us out here?
Yeah, why haven't they started their plan yet?
We won't get anywhere. With brute force, that is.
That turns out to be completely false.
I said I'm pissed off. Doing it for the world. My ass. How self-serving can you get?
I am slowly loving Zeke more and more.
And Biter of Poppy use Earth Element. So, through synergy with Fire Element of Morag, power of arts is amplified.
As a longtime Pokemon fan, this makes no sense to me.
Step back.
Hold up!
Dude, do you want Pyra to stay alive or not?
We the best!
DJ Khaled.
An ether accelerator.
How do they have the technology for this, but not for stuff like computers or phones? Luckily for our heroes, this ether accelerator takes just as long to fire as the Death Star.
Activate QT mode! Lift up from below!
Why hasn't she been in QT mode this whole time? Wow, that worked? Cool shot, but Zeke didn't do anything to earn it.
For 500 years, we Tantalese have concealed the Omega fetter.
Wait, we're already in an exposition scene now? Just 20 seconds ago, that accelerator was a huge problem. Also, how does he know they're interested in the Omega fetter?
Even so, all was done in the name of saving the world from burning once more.
The ends justify the means.
He didn't just go missing.
Pyra waited a while to send out this message she really had to deliver earlier.
Adam. He had foreseen everything.
Emperor Palpatine.
Adam left us of his own will. But why?
There's a crystal for everything back there, right? Now R2-D2. Man, someone back there is a Star Wars fan.
When mankind has matured and learned to live better lives, she will answer your call and return to you.
Or she will be lucked into existence by a curious 15-year-old kid enticed by the throbbing of her sword. Either way is fine with me. Sure took a while for this to start happening.
What's our depth now?
2,200 peds, sir. We are diving at a rate of 120 peds per minute.
How did he figure this out so soon?
Only Pandoria can tell Genbu what to do.
Not the Omega fetter all of a sudden?
For the sake of Tantal, though we attempted to destroy the Aegis.
It's not about Tantal.
Yes, it is.
Save it, old man! You better make a start on evacuating the people. Though with us on the case, your efforts are probably going to be wasted.
Okay, that was a cool line.
Tantal was founded by the Counter-Adamites. Then, after the war, they closed themselves off.
Can we maybe save this conversation for after the Omega fetter is restored? You're kinda on a time crunch here.
Jeez, Gramps. What's the point of keeping an old-timer like you around if you don't even know anything? Gramps knows everything.
Do you think it may be related to Jin and his comrades using Torna's name?
Time crunch, people! Also, yes.
Perhaps I never should have been sealed away after all.
That's correct.
A battleground from the Aegis War.
This tiny area? What's an artifice like Siren gonna do when there's such little space to move around in? Oh, right.
You've already seen one other. Siren.
Well, we saw its light rays that killed Abrona, not Siren itself.
Well, can you fix it?
Shut up.
I agree. Well, after all that talk about Genbu diving down in only 3 hours before everyone gets squashed, I really didn't have to worry all that much.
So it was hidden all the way out here.
What?
No. No, they are not here. These guys have been thousands of peds below the Cloud Sea for a long while, and you're telling me that they were able to travel here during all that? This is seriously the pinnacle of this game's biggest lingering problem, so I'm giving this 3 sins. Also, if Rex and the guys weren't here, then the bad guys will almost certainly be flattened from Genbu diving down still. So in hindsight, yeah, that escape pod would have been the right call. Also, it's even more convenient for our bad guys that their search for the Omega fetter coincided with our protagonists so that we could have this showdown.
Oh, we're quite aware of that. We just don't need them.
Yeah, but they'd still help. And if they're stronger with their own blade weapons, then why have blades in the first place?
Flesh eaters.
How did she know that?
But here, that seems less likely. So let's go all out.
Even though this encounter is 110% bullshit, this is probably the best battle in the entire game, so I'm removing 2 sins. Where's he been this whole time? And how did he get down here as well? God, I'm so confused right now, it hurts.
You bastard!
So both their swords just swung through where the other moved, yet neither of them are sliced in half.
Relax, he's not made of glass.
Wait, he's here too? Jesus, bad guys just teleport wherever they're needed in this game, don't they? And how did nobody notice he was there anyways? Man, this game really doesn't give a crap about explaining how people get to where they are. I still don't really know who Sephiroth is. Also, now I know where half the budget went. This is an awesome shot and all, but are you really telling me that after nearly 3 hours of this thing diving straight down, it managed to get back to the surface in like 20 minutes? The director of this scene really likes showing off his artwork. Gotta utilize that budget somehow.
My power gives me control over all elementary particles.
Oh my god, here we go. I'm not the best person to explain why this is complete bullshit, so I'll just link you some videos, but for now just know that this is bullshit and it deserves 10 sins. Also, what about your sword? How is that shit gonna move that fast? Can his sword independently manipulate elementary particles as well?
Didn't I tell you? I can manipulate elementary particles.
Is this game just giving the finger to physics? Is that what it's come to?
Particles that form it are too heavy to truly reach light speed.
Then what does reach light speed if light beams can't do it? Jin still keeps everyone here alive for some reason. Why did that force Mithra to switch over? Like, seriously, why? All these blades were here too? How did they? You know what? Fuck it, I'm done. 10 more sins. Some Flamebringer.
I'm surprised you're still breathing. Relax. You'll be able to rest after I've pried that core crystal from your chest.
Cool line, but why didn't you do that before? Also, don't worry. Rex is going to survive this because Pyra has to survive this in order for Malice to get his strength back. Funny how when that rule was introduced, it basically threw away all suspense in scenes that were supposed to be suspenseful.
Oh, look. What a touching scene.
Well, Morag is free now, but we're supposed to forget about that right now, huh?
You don't have that kind of...
Are you so sure about that?
How come Pyra doesn't just aim that thing on Malos? In fact, why doesn't she just instantly fire that thing on Malos? Go on, tell me. I'm waiting.
It moves at the speed of light. And if I turn up the output just a little, that light alone has enough power to annihilate a single blade.
Then what's the point of the particle cannon? Also, just one blade. If there was another blade next to Pyra, they'd be just fine. Also, if Siren has this power to instantly kill any blade, including an Aegis, why did that massive war 500 years ago even need to happen? See, this is the problem with introducing new abilities well into the story at random.
No, Pyra, they'll just...
Jin?
She's not going to use Siren on Malos, huh? Now this is surprising. More Pyra exhaustion!
Your own blade has been wounded so deeply, and all you can think of is yourself.
And who the fuck made those wounds? Or has nobody told you about their shared injuries, which would be equally stupid?
You awakened the Aegis. I thought you might have been different.
The only reason he woke the Aegis in the first place was because you kept your mouth shut instead of telling him to not touch that stupid sword on the ship, so shut up right now. We interrupt this bullshit to bring you Xenoblade 1. Also, Pyra. What we just saw was a collection of this game's biggest problems all put into one scene. I'm supposed to feel intimidated by the bad guys, but I just feel disgusted because of all the horseshit they showcased for everything to happen. Bad guys just magically being where they should be, horrible logical events, and now Jin physics as I'll call it.